as always.
Me, Chuck.
And
who am I? I'm Dan.
You could be Dan. You could
Well,
be
that's
any.
good.
You know
That's
what?
good.
You know what? This is a podcast that is free. We do it out of just because we like it, and you could be whatever you want, Dan. You could be anything you want. I don't care. Just say it. It's you.
Hey, I wanted to bring up something on the podcast. The other day, I posted something on our chat that we, the three of us chat in.
Yeah.
And nobody responded. And I'm like, oh no, I think I came off like a psychopath.
Why did you write that?
Well, there was this DJ on the radio was talking about weed whackers, and he's like, "Oh, I call it." He said, "I call it." I can't remember what he called it.
A bushwhacker.
He called it something else, and I was like, "Oh, I prefer to call it a bushwhacker." And
right.
I thought you were going to say something because that's not my line; that's your line.
Okay, so this is what happens in situations like this, and this is with all chats, and I'm going to say this to everybody out there, just because, I see it right here, yeah. It was like an hour and a half later that I saw it, and then I didn't respond, and I was working, and then I had to remember, hey, I got to talk about Alien Romulus, so I wanted to put that in there to remind us. And it's by then the moment was gone.
By then the moment's over. Yeah.
So, and it's just so I'm sorry, man. I don't know.
Okay.
And I think I read it again.
Snapper.
And I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't know what to say. I'm like, I don't know. I was really busy. I had a lot going on last week.
Dan, many years ago, I worked in a hardware store, and some guy called up, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for a bushwhacker." And I was like, "Do you mean a weed whacker?" And he's like, "No, I prefer to call it a bushwhacker." And later that day, I got into a car with my friend Justin. He's like, "Hey, listen to this tape." He puts the tape in, and it's him calling me asking for a bushwhacker. I thought it was a legit phone call.
We would do that. I did it all the time to him. Was that Builder Square?
Builder Square, because I answered the phone.
Because he was always the one answering the phone. So we'd call him and ask him what time they were closing, and be like, what if the power goes out? Or stuff like that. We were just
I never, not once did I never realized it was that.
I'd call him with a terrible accent, totally made up, and just talk about random crap.
Yeah. Yep.
This reminds me of something. This reminds me of I Heart JG. Do you remember, Justin?
Oh yeah.
When we made up an internet stalker.
Do you still have that account?
Probably.
Was that Twitter or was that? I think it was Twitter.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I think it was Hammer and I did it, and we took a picture of Justin, and I did an MS Paint. I drew a heart over it, and I put I Heart JG, and I made a stalker for him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best.
And he was complaining about it just a little bit, just enough for us to keep the joke going.
I knew it was you guys all along.
But you didn't know. No,
I didn't know exactly who. I knew it was one of you guys because of the picture where it was from, because it was taken from one of Pez's wedding pictures.
But it was during the old podcast.
Yeah, it was.
And so at first you were like, I think it's so and so. It was that guy that was following us,
yeah.
We had that guy that was chatting with us all the time. But man, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, so we're a little late this week to talk about Daredevil, but there's some other stuff we can talk about too. So, Chuck, let's start with the weirdest one. Why don't we talk about that masterpiece of a movie you watched, and just so you let everybody know that you did something so they don't have to.
Yeah. Hey, I watched that movie G20 on I think it's on Prime.
It is because I went to find the trailer and watch it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys don't have to watch it. It was not great. It was the CGI was so bad in it. There's a point in the movie where they're this limo flips over a bunch of Humvees and stuff, and it's all getting shot up. It was so fake.
Give us a breakdown. What is G20 about?
So the president is a black woman. and she's going to the G20 summit in South Africa to discuss a digital currency that she's spearheading for like undeveloped countries. And so what ends up happening is this guy that was in the military, and he felt that his friends were killed for no reason. He decides that he's going to turn this into a money-making scheme. So he comes in and kidnaps everybody. He takes over the compound, and he his whole deal is, hey, he shorts all the world's currency, and he tries to convince over the like TV and everything. He holds all the leaders captive and stuff, and he tries to convince the world to dump money into crypto so that the world currencies plummet, and then he's shorting all the currency. So he's making billions of dollars, and it's just a money grab thing. But the president escapes, and she, with the help of Will Trent, I don't know if you guys have ever watched the show Will Trent, but the actor who plays Will Trent.
Nope. No, sir.
Her security. He's like her personal security guard. And so the two of them escape with like, I think it's like the British Prime Minister and like the First Lady of South Korea, and then like I think the president of like Brazil or something. And they all like form this band, and I swear to God, they like go up against the terrorist group that captured
like the president.
Yeah. Well, she's like, so here's the thing, she's like ex-military, so she's got some skills.
Oh, so this is like some Air Force One stuff we got going on.
Yeah,
I got you.
Jack Ryan.
There's a scene in the movie.
So it's totally like our president right now.
Not at all. So there's a scene in the movie where she
throws a bunch of tariffs. Like, you tariff.
Yeah, exactly. Except the tariffs were bullets. She was shooting them at people.
Oh, so it was effective.
Right. So she actually, when you stop, she actually takes on like 7 guys against her. And like after she kills like 7 guys, I just turned to my buddy and I'm like, killing spree. Like it was so fake. It was the fake. It's like she's like running like at one point some dude's running up behind her and she just goes, oh, bam, and like takes him out.
Oh, it's one of those movies.
It was so funny, dude. It was so bad it was funny. But yeah, and her kids were there, and her kids were like really good at like breaking security and stuff. So they were in on the whole
double kill.
And then just nobody dies. Nobody, like none of, except for like a couple dignitaries do get killed, but like none of the crew that's like fighting back, none of them get killed.
So it's like G.I. Joe. They'll jump out of the vehicle before it blows up.
It was so fake, and the CGI was so bad.
Oh, speaking of, I watched a movie that reminded me of G.I. Joe. Are we done with G20?
Yeah, hey, don't watch it.
All right, terrible. I watched Transformers 1, the animated one that came out this year.
Oh, okay.
That was, I think, on Prime also, possibly. I think it was Prime I watched it on. It's not bad. It was all right. I watched it with my son, and it goes dark. Like, the last half of the movie, you're like, huh, that goes pretty dark. And it's the premise is basically like the 1980s Transformers cartoon. It's a prequel to that. And so it's like how Optimus Prime becomes Optimus Prime and how Megatron becomes Megatron.
Oh, that's cool.
They're the best of buds at first. Let's put it that way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're best friends.
Yeah, they're the best of friends. Like brothers forever. But, yeah.
Is there like a Care Bear song in there? Like, we're best friends?
I wish. No, it's not bad. It wasn't too bad. That's all I really want to say on it. It's not like a mind-blowing or anything. It was fine. If you have a good, if you're looking for a family cartoon-ish movie and you have some nostalgia, it is better than every single Transformer movie that's come out, live action. But probably doesn't surprise anybody.
Yeah. Well, I watched an analog clock tick off minutes one time. That was better than all the Transformers movies. So.
But I also watched Alien Romulus.
So did I.
Okay, so now all 3 of us have watched Alien Romulus. My review of Alien Romulus. Okay, so Um, like the first half hour I thought was incredible. Like absolutely, like no joke, one of my favorite like things in all of Alien stuff. Like that first, I'd even say like all the way up until the face hugger attaches onto the girl for the
Mhm.
first time. Like up to that point,
Mhm.
like I
Yeah.
am like
Yep.
100% in on this movie. It is fantastic. The world building is so good. The whole how Wayland Yutani company is like kind of like running this area and kind of like, keeping everybody an indentured servant there and everything and making it difficult for them to leave. And just like the grime and the grit, and it felt like all the other Alien movies. I mean, they did their homework there for sure. And it just felt really good. Like I'm like, all right, I can get into this universe. It's all good. But the issue I have with this movie is it becomes a paint by number alien movie after that. And what I really, really hate is the same thing that Covenant did. And it's like literally the face hugger goes on the first victim. 5 minutes later, you already have like the full size alien, like full size chest burster about to come out. It comes out of her, and then 5 minutes later, and I'm talking like it's like 5 minutes like not just movie time. It's like the actual timeline of like because like they're in this area, and then they run over to this area, and it's already a full size alien. And I'm like,
It does happen
like at
rather
the
quick.
time it runs down the hallway, it sheds its skin, and it's a full alien. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you got to be kidding me! And then at the end with the basketball player alien, they because that kid, I don't know if you know, the guy who plays the alien at the end is actually that like really tall dude
Oh,
who
yeah.
plays
Okay.
basketball. Yeah, because he kind of looks like him. And yeah, it's really weird. Anyway, it's like 2 seconds. That thing is also like immediately like full grown
Yep.
alien, and
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
what's going? It just like and it totally took me out of it. And it would have been a totally like without that. If they would have like found a way to make that breathe a little bit for me, it would have like not taken me out because the very first Alien movie does not work that way. It's like
No. No.
they have him on the bed. That he gets the face hugger, falls off of him and dies. Then it's like little time passes. They have dinner, and then it happens. So it's like there's some time that's passing. He's like laid out and unconscious for a while. I don't know. It could have even been like a day or something, which makes total sense. I'm fine with that. Like give it at least hours. Give me at least hours, something like that.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to
So
worry about an aliens because they don't have
so
that situation happen.
so maybe I'm. It's been a while since I saw it. I saw it in the movie theater, right?
Uh huh.
Um,
Mhm.
but if I remember correctly, the face hugger that escapes is not the full size one that's chasing them. The
No.
full size
The,
one
no.
that's chasing them had been like there's a bunch of them that's already escaped
That's
them.
later in the movie.
That's
though.
later.
That's
Later
in
on,
the
there's
movie.
more. There's more later because
Yeah.
there's the entire hive later on that they find. But the one that's
Yeah.
on that initial ship,
Yeah. It grows from
they're
that girl.
inside the ship, and then like she passes out, and they kick it, and then the ship goes careening into the
Mhm.
bay. The alien
Yeah.
the alien that's on that ship bursts. First,
Okay.
it bursts out of her chest.
Yeah, and then it cocoons itself.
And then it runs out, and then they find
Gotcha.
and then like she like runs down the hall of the ship, and it's already the cocoon, like the skin's off of it, and it's like kind of
Yep.
cocooned up on the wall. It's like it didn't even eat anything. What's going on here? Yeah, it just irritated me, and I'm just like, come on, this is like the one thing. Other than that, I mean, the aliens behaved like all the other parts of the movie I really like. Like there was like,
Mhm.
I mean, other than it is like literally a paint by number alien movie. It's like even with like, well, you got to eject it into space. That's the only way you can kill an alien at the end of an alien movie.
And
It's like
apparently, that's not the only way to. That's not how you kill them, because they found the one floating in space.
that is
That's
true.
how they. At the very
Yeah, I
beginning.
mean, yeah, there's that also. Yeah. So, yeah, well, you got to do it in like the rings of a planet. So it rips
Yeah,
it up
that's
a little
it.
bit. It blew it up a little. Anyway,
Okay,
I don't know.
so
Go ahead, Chuck. What are you going to say?
I
What's your
agree.
thoughts?
I agree with you up to a point. I thought watching it. I'm like, wow, this is so good. The like just the science fiction stuff. The
Great.
ship.
It's all great.
The space station and all that stuff. I'm like, this is awesome. How they like crawled in at the beginning. I'm like, oh, dude, this is like. I'm like, luckily I wasn't like freaked out or nothing. I was just like, I wouldn't want to be stuck in there if an alien showed up, But like, the thing that really took me out of it was there was this weird. They found like this half of a android, and they propped him up, and he starts talking to him, and he's telling him all about this stuff. And it felt like the CGI that they used was so bad, like it just looked terrible.
I think it was intended to, right?
No, what it is it's the exact same model of the android from Alien 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same actor's face and everything.
Right.
So they're making it look like that. That's why it kind of looks a little off.
Come on, man. I've seen them do a better job. Tarkin was amazing in Star Wars. Come on. The technology is there. What are they doing?
I get it. But okay. I'm going to forgive that kind of stuff. Like, that didn't take me out. But, I mean, it's fine. I mean, yeah.
The other thing that took me out was, like, okay, he's developing, he found the basic substance, that black goo from all the previous movies, that the engineers used to like populate planets and stuff. He found that stuff. He was able to literally find, get it, and he had it for like genetic testing. But then what that didn't explain to me was why he had like boxes of face huggers everywhere. I would just have boxes of face huggers everywhere. So was the plan to literally send those out to like infect colonies or something?
I would say yes. I kind of got that impression. I mean, look at it was like that company had been known to not care so much about human life if it would better their, bottom line. And
right, so the aliens
think about
work for them.
I mean, not necessarily work for them, but they could, use the biology of what they do to get more, whatever they're doing with it. I mean, look at all of the Aliens movie.
Yeah, they're stocking up to do more testing to get to that, final, recipe where they get immortality. Mm-hmm. Without the side effects, right?
Yeah, they're trying to create the perfect being, because like at the very beginning of the movie, that you're in the colony, and they're like right away, first thing they're like, hey, if you're not feeling good, go to the medical center right away. And it's because like they're on these planets, they're doing all this mining, people are getting sick from being exposed to whatever they're being exposed to. Plus there's like, I'm sure there's viruses and stuff, for alien viruses and stuff that they're digging up. I don't know. That's what I'm assuming. But it's like their workforce is so limited. That's why, like, when she was like, she had completed her stay on that planet, like she had done her 6 years or whatever. And they're like, no, I'm sorry, but there's a shortage of workers. You need to stay another 6 years, basically. Like, once they had them on that planet, they weren't leaving. It was basically the prison situation from Andor. It's like, oh, well, you've finished your hours. Well, go right back to it, because we need you.
Or Ready Player One.
Yeah, exactly.
Rehabilitation center.
Yeah. Like I said, like the world building on it, I thought was phenomenal.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
I like the fact that the android was the same model from the first Alien movie. I thought that was a neat touch. I mean, yeah, it looked a little off. I'll give you it, but whatever. It was just like those things, and then like, and I really liked the android, the guy who played the android in this one. I thought he was like, he was awesome. He was awesome. I liked, him switching. Andy. Yeah, I liked the way he switched between like, the Weyland-Yutani android to Andy again, and I liked all that. The characters were fine. It was just that like, all right, we got to do this stuff, but let's make it just felt so rushed. And Covenant did the same thing. And it's just like, and I'll say like Romulus, I like it better than a lot of the more recent Alien stuff. I like it better than Alien 4. I like it better than Prometheus, and I like it better than Covenant for sure. I like it better than all those, and better than the Alien versus Predator movies, obviously. But like it was, I don't know. Like I would like to see them do something. I'm really looking forward to the TV show, because I really hope it does something different than just a paint by number Alien movie.
Yeah, they'll be able to spend more time. See, the problem is that we know the problem is like there's no suspense. There's no like, I'm like, oh, they found a hive of aliens. Like I remember the first time I watched Alien, I was freaked out the entire time. I'm watching this movie and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's a face hugger. Okay. Yeah, you can't. Don't let it get in your face.
So
Oh,
so
got
I
that
saw
girl's
it in
face.
I
You
saw it
know.
in the theater with my daughter,
Oh yeah. But she
and,
had never seen aliens, right?
well, she had, because we
Oh, okay.
watched the original Alien before we saw the movie, and she loved it. She was scared to death. Jana was scared to death.
Really?
And the whole theater like jumped at every jump point and screamed at every scream point. So I loved it, and I also think that, so the scene with the alien head, they purposely made it look exactly like the original movie to
Yeah.
capture that instance. It was the homage
Sure.
to the
Yeah.
original, so they made it hokey on purpose. They didn't make it, newer or more like Lance Henriksen in like Resurrection or whatever it was, where they bring him back at the beginning. They wanted it to look just as bad as it did in the first one, just as an homage,
Right. Well, that's
an
fine.
homage. Because Ian Holm, I think, was dead when they did it. Because I think he passed away like a couple years ago. If
Yeah,
I
I think he
remember.
did. I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Ian Holm,
he's the
thank you, thank
only.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still feel like they could have done a better job. I really feel like they had spent, like, I mean, up until that point, everything was so awesome, and then all of a sudden I was like, that's kind of, it's just kind of like phoned in the CGI on that one, didn't they?
I think they actually, it probably was harder for them to do it that way, to make it look like that, because it was a practical effect in the original, right? Not CGI.
Yeah, it was a practical effect.
Yeah, so I don't know. I all I know is that they did it on purpose that way. That was intentional.
Well, all right.
Because they wanted it to look just like when she puts his head, and she has to grab it because it starts to fall over, and she has to like hold it down in the movie because it was a mistake, right? They couldn't get the head to stay down because the adhesive wasn't working with all like the fake goo and all that stuff in the original. So I loved it. I thouut it was great.
At the very beginning, I'll be honest with you, I was like, oh, is this going to be of Mice and Men? Because when the android character, Andy, was, he was just a little off because he had been damaged or whatever, or was obsolete or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this is just going to be of Mice and Men in space. That's what I really thought it was going to be at first. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, but I think I would definitely recommend it to anybody who enjoys Alien movies. Like, definitely got to see it. If you like the first few Alien movies, I actually really like Alien 3 also. I think
Alien 3 is good.
I think it gets a short but
yeah. Alien 4, I kind of like some of the stuff in it. I like some of the ideas in it. I haven't seen it in a while. It's probably cheesy, but
I love a lot of the actors in it. I love the director. It's really gross. Alien 4 is like the grossest of all of them.
Gross.
It's really disgusting. Even the opening credits are just
there's a lot
weird
of, like,
and fleshy.
Well, because they're playing with genes. They're playing with genetics.
It's gross. It's a really gross movie. But I don't know if I so much love Clone Ripley and that kind of stuff. I could have done with all that, I suppose. But
I liked the character. I liked the characters in this movie. I did like
the characters in this movie. Yeah,
they did a really good job.
There's a lot of really good qualities about it. Like I said, I just felt it was, the people that did it, you could tell they cared. The world building again.
I kept saying, like, why are they using CRTs on all the spaceships?
I love all that. I love that. I love that mother
it's
stuff.
awesome. The old click switches.
Love it. Yeah. So it keeps with that same technology, just like the way I love like Andor, how it uses, the same technology that you see in all the old Star Wars movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to talk about Wolfie's Just Fine, Chuck?
Just real quick.
Okay. You could start.
So, all right. So Justin, you texted us like, I don't know what, 2 weeks ago. Hey, listen to this song, and it was the song, and you're like, you might have to look it up because you might not get it right away. So I didn't get it right away, but I'm like, it's a song about a guy and he's in love with this woman.
It's called Todd and Janelle.
Todd and Janelle, and he's like singing about like, like the kids kind of cramping our lifestyle. And what the fuck is the dog barking at? Why does this dog keep barking in the background? And I didn't pick it up right away.
What's the goddamn dog barking at?
Yeah, I didn't pick it up right away. I had to look it up, but it was basically the John Connor's adoptive parents.
From Terminator 2.
Yeah, it was the coolest. Like, so you wrote a song based on these two characters who are on screen for what, like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah,
It's very funny.
And the song's like musically really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good.
Jam.
So you got to look up this guy. Wolfie's Just Fine. He's a comedian. He's been around for a long time. He used to do a lot of web videos. Some of the stuff is off the charts ridiculous. Songs like "Guns Don't Kill People," "I Kill People with Guns," yeah, and that kind of stuff like back in the day. But then more recently, he decided to just start making songs about how good he was at Mortal Kombat 2 or that time that Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant, and just these
awesome.
like core memories in his life of things in pop culture that he had witnessed and expounding upon them. So Todd and Janelle's a song about these two characters and their entire backstory, and then it throws in bits of the movie dialogue in there, and then of course the entire his band or his act is called Wolfie's Just Fine is also a line from that scene too. Because did you catch that, Chuck?
Yeah, the dogs.
Because the dog, what's the dog's name? Like Max or whatever. And he's like, "Hey, how's Wolfie?" "Oh, Wolfie's just fine, honey." And that's how he knew that your foster parents are dead. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, if you like that kind of stuff, the music's really good. I would folky sounding. It's pretty chill, but there are a lot of fun stuff. Another one, A New Beginning, is all about like a child watching a Friday the 13th movie, young in life, and the different emotions and feelings he had as he's seen.
Wasn't it also the movie was Friday the 13th, A New Beginning?
Well, yes.
Yeah,
A New Beginning. Yeah, it's from Friday the 13th, right. A New Beginning.
Yeah. So, but there's like all this shame because he's like not supposed to be like. I kind of get this from the movie. He's not supposed to be watching.
Oh, he's not supposed to be watching it, but his friend's brother put it on for him when they're at their house.
He's like falling in love with the actress while she's getting murdered because it's the first time he's seen like a naked woman.
Yeah,
like the weirdest like emotions are happening. Yeah. Oh my god, it's very good. It's so good.
Did you watch the video for it that goes along with it?
Yes, I did watch the video.
Yeah, and then he's like running away from Jason at the end. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
anyway,
so
works
good.
on a lot of levels. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, there's a song I listened to today a couple of times about the guy that was disarming the bomb in Die Hard 3, and he's like, "I'm not gonna leave. There are kids in the building. I'm gonna stay with the bomb." The name of the song is "I'm gonna stay with the bomb." It's very funny.
First three.
Musically cool. It's pretty cool musically too.
Okay. Speaking of Die Hard, real quick, favorite Die Hard movie?
2.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Dan, favorite Die Hard movie?
Got it out. Yeah.
Which one?
The first Die Hard.
Okay, so that's where I'm at too. I was in a debate with somebody talking about whether 1 or 3 was better. He was.
I think Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Yeah, I think 2 is a better movie.
Really?
And maybe only because like I have, I tend to have a fear of flying, so like that kind of like movie does kind of just give me a little bit more on edge, like.
I enjoy too. I enjoy it. I love the first 3 Die Hard movies. I love them.
Yeah, they are good.
But I think 1 it's my favorite.
The third one is a good movie though.
Very good.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my thoughts on 2 and 3, right? It's like all those 80s, 90s action movies when the sequels came out and they just really, 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 really leaned in to the catchphrases and the big explosions over storyline and plot, right? It's like it's the birth of the Michael Bay movie. You can trace it back to those sequels, right? And Michael Bay
those movies are better.
No, and I'm not saying
like
they
half
are
naked girls like hand painting their motorcycle. It's ridiculous. Like,
I mean,
Michael Bay is ridiculous.
We got, I mean, Die Hard, we got naked lady running out of an office, guy doing coke,
True. That is very true.
But, anyways, it's just, it laid, those sequels, leaned into, they're popcorn movies, right? They're popcorn,
Just
go to the theater, get a...
I don't know, man. What do you got against office parties at Christmas time?
Dude, nothing. I'm just saying that the sequels are just like they're good, but the first one takes itself serious and doesn't take itself serious at the same time. If you know what I mean, it's a great mix of.
God, it's a perfect movie. It's a perfect movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And first practical green screen effect, right?
Was it?
Yeah, I mean that was really good.
Alan Rickman falling there is like one of the first ones used in an action movie with green screen.
Yeah.
Before they had played around with like blue screen.
It was blue screen.
Really
blue screen was a little hard. Yeah.
I mean, Disney had done it in the '60s with Mary Poppins. They don't know how they did it. They forgot how the technology worked.
Really?
Oh, and my favorite filming tidbit is the green screen scene where Alan Rickman falls from the window. He's really actually surprised because they were supposed to drop him on 3 and they dropped them on 1.
Oh, that's right. I heard that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's how you do good film.
Yeah.
Shoot the glass.
Cool. Yeah.
Shoot the glass. Anyway, all right. So we got to talk about Daredevil. We got an episode. Episode 7. We got one more coming out actually tomorrow. So depending on when we do our next episode, I mean, I don't know if we're still recording Thursday. You might get 2 Burning Ewoks this week. But
so getting part 1 today.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of episode 7?
It was good.
Loved it, and I went into it thinking it was the finale. And so when it ended, I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be the finale. I'm like, oh great, we got one more.
Yeah, when it ended, I just turned to Renee. I'm like, why doesn't Dick Wolf make TV shows like this? This it's better than it's better than all those cop drama shows we watch, all those lawyer shows that my wife likes to watch.
Did we talk about the last 2 episodes before that with Muse? I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did. We did talk about it.
We talked about the
and
Muse
you were
fight?
telling me because I remember telling Renee while we were watching, I'm like, so Muse has this ability that they don't talk about in the show that you were telling us about the last episode where he could deaden people's senses.
Yeah.
And I wonder if I really wanted to see them explore that when he was talking to his therapist, the therapist lady who happens to also be the girlfriend of
so
Daredevil,
yeah, let's kind of talk about that a little bit. Okay, I mean, I got some issues with some of the stuff because I think it's just a little hacked up because of how they filmed it. Apparently, this last episode 7 was the first all new footage episode. Everything else was getting piecemealed before up to that point. Yeah. So it's just and it's just kind of always felt a little awkward. Hang on a second. The whole the counselor stuff is the stuff I think that bugs me the most, or the thing that does bother me. Well, really? It's a little too happenstancy for me because she's doing Kingpin and Vanessa. She happens to be dating Daredevil, and then she's also the counselor of Muse. Yeah, but
remember
it's a little much.
He went and visited her for her book signing, right?
Yeah. I don't know. A little small worldy for me there and everything, and just it's just a lot of that stuff just kind of pops in there. Similar to how Daredevil, when he pops in through the window to fight Muse, the cops didn't see that down below. Anyway, there's certain editing. Yeah.
Didn't he went through the window before the cops arrived?
No, they were
they got there. They got there.
No, they pulled up right when he went through. They were
because they looked up at the window. I remember they looked up at the window. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. They get in. They come screeching in. They get out the car, and it happens right then, and they look up, and they don't see him. They just see the broken window. Yeah.
I do. There's one thing, because in the next episode they talk about it, and she's like, she doesn't see a difference between Muse and Daredevil. She's like, oh, they're just both use violence. And I was like, but Daredevil came to save your ass. Like, you don't see, like, he was a good guy though.
I think it was more of like an exploration of like why people hide behind masks and do things and feel the
that's
need to
her
be a
big- that's her-
vigilante. And
right.
that's I think that's
That's her
more of
big
like
thing.
where she was leaning on that. I think she understands that one's trying to be helpful, but are they being helpful in the right way? Or is there like still more like psychosis that needs to be broken down with that type of psyche
It's
or somebody that wants
interesting.
to do that type of thing?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting for them to explore. The other thing I was telling my wife was, I'm like, we didn't see in episode 7. You don't see him as Daredevil. You don't. He did. In fact, most of this show, you don't see him dressed up as Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, could you? There's not an episode of Batman from the '60s where Batman and Robin don't get dressed up. There's not a single episode.
I think it's kind of the point, though, right? Can he separate himself from Daredevil, or is he
I love it.
always Daredevil?
I think it's great. I mean, I love this show. I really like this show.
So when they first originally started filming it, it was before the strike happened. And so they filmed a whole bunch. They had not filmed him in the Daredevil costume, like hardly any of it or anything. Was it?
Until the 5th episode. They filmed 6 episodes.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the 5th that the costume was even seen. And Charlie Cox and D'Onofrio grabbed the executive producer and said, "This is not working. This is not good.
In fact,
we need to do
Charlie
something
Cox
different."
was going to just outright leave.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, it sucks. We can't do it. It sucks.
Yeah, they did not have a showrunner initially, right? Yeah. So they didn't have anybody running the show, overseeing the whole thing and making sure it was cohesive. And they said it was just not good. It was not fun to do. They didn't like it, and they didn't want to be part of it anymore unless they made changes. That's when they brought in the guy who. They brought in the guy who wrote most of, or several of the episodes of The Punisher, brought him in as the showrunner, Dario Scardapane or whatever, Scardapane. There you go. I got it up on the side here.
So we were supposed to originally get a lot more episodes, though, and that's the only thing that kind of bums me out is because now we only get 8 for this first season. It was going to be a lot more originally. I think it was
really
going to be.
Good, though.
Yeah, no, I'm
9.
fine. What's
Getting that? 9. That was episode 8.
Was it 8? Okay, so I'm one off.
Yeah.
Time's a flat circle for me, my friends.
7 is the one where him and Muse fight, right?
Gotcha. Then 8's the last one, so it's 9.
Yeah. So 9 episodes.
8 is the dance.
Right.
And 9 is going to be Punisher and Daredevil team up.
So why didn't Bullseye shoot twice? Anybody like? I don't know. Why didn't he just like pull the trigger again?
Yeah, exactly.
So Bullseye fires. Daredevil gets in the way, takes the shot. Fisk is wide open now.
So he literally saves Fisk.
Yeah.
So it's so here's my breakdown. Right, is Bullseye is hired by somebody, right? And I'll get there. We all know who it is. He's hired to kill Foggy, right? Part of that deal is he's supposed to then get pulled from prison, right? He's not supposed to be there. Instead, Fisk eventually goes, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to put you in General Pop." Because of that, Bullseye feels he's been wrongly or unjustly, taken action against by, who he thinks is part of, the plan for what he was hired for, right? So he gets not broken out of jail by Daredevil, but Daredevil sets him up to be able to get out of jail, right, by getting him into the medical ward of the prison, right? And he goes to take his vengeance on Fisk, assuming Fisk is the one that hired him. Turns out it's Vanessa.
Right.
So Matt finally figures out it's Vanessa, not Fisk, and the justice inside of him can't let Bullseye kill Fisk. So he jumps in front of the bullet to save Fisk, and Bullseye goes, well, he was kind of getting me here to this point. Why did he just take it? And that's why he didn't take another shot.
You think that's it? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You know what?
That makes total sense, actually.
I'll buy that headcanon. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. All right.
And in my head, it only took about 5 seconds to get there, not the...
When does Kingpin figure it out, though? When does he figure out Vanessa's working behind the scenes? And what's he going to do? Because he can't live without her. Like, he's made that very clear. What happens to the comics?
Oh, there's a big enough difference that I would say they're completely independent of each other at this point. You really can't say. I mean, like she does talk the Tracksuit Mafia guy into going to shoot him. But when that first happened, I was under the impression that Vanessa and him were on the same page because Fisk was completely ready for a Tracksuit Mafia guy to come in and take a bullet. See more, if you want to see more Tracksuit Mafia, go check out Hawkeye. Tracksuit Mafia is the best of all the gangs. They all wear tracksuits just like that dude.
Sure.
So,
okay.
Yeah. And that's actually what they're called, the Tracksuit Mafia. I don't know. Like, so I thought when that scene happened, and I'm not sure now. I'm not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
because he knew.
He knew. He was ready.
He said, "Hey, call my wife and ask her if she wants me to bring her any food." Like that was him saying, "It didn't work."
Well, was he saying, "Hey, it didn't work" to my wife, or is he saying like the wife, like we're together, we're working on getting that out? Because also, if she's trying to have him killed, that would kind of also maybe break him.
I don't think she's actually trying to have him killed. I think she's trying to get Kingpin to come out, and it's like a game between the two of them. Him trying to not have Kingpin come out, and her trying to get him back out. So yeah, I think it's
that makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Her pushing his buttons and trying to get him to be his old self, right?
Yeah, like her not caring that, to a certain degree about him beating the crap out of the dude that's held prisoner. Yeah.
Her boyfriend. Right?
Yeah.
Well, and then he hands her the gun, right, and she kills him. Yeah. So, I think she only does it because she thinks Kingpin is back at that point.
It's an opposite Anakin Vader thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Oh.
That's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you didn't watch the trailer for this week?
Oh. No, I want to be surprised.
Yeah. So this is the team up episode, is what from what
I saw a clip from it like a month ago, so I knew it was coming.
You get like 5 seconds of the new episode in the trailer.
Yeah, I would assume there would have to be a team up at some point.
Yep, the official trailer is like a summary of this, like a season recap.
Oh, okay.
With like 5 seconds of the two of them teaming up. So be interesting since he got shot, how that happens.
Yeah, I was like, how is he going to become Daredevil now? And I don't. He's gonna be like, he's gonna come out to fight. He's gonna be like, but this one shoulder hurts real bad. Like I don't know what he's gonna do.
Well, he heals fast, right? So maybe we'll get a little time jump. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe
I would imagine it's a small time jump.
Yeah.
Even if it's a week.
Yeah. I would bet Fisk has to come in and like thank him at some point or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Guess we'll find out in 3 days, right?
Well, tomorrow. Comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in 3 days.
Yes, that sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good.
Yeah, because I got a lot going on this week too. But I should be able to record Thursday. I got a lot of
Good.
baseball this week. Holy cow.
I don't know if I will be able to record Thursday because my daughter comes home from school with her boyfriend.
With her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Which daughter?
Addie.
Oh yeah, there we go.
It's
She's
rough.
coming
It's
home with
rough.
the boyfriend, bringing the boyfriend with.
He's spending Easter with us.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. That's
Did you get him an Easter basket?
We're going to get him an Easter basket.
You're gonna go hide eggs for him to go and find?
No.
Yeah, you gotta do
no.
it, man. You gotta do it. And like put
No,
little
not hiding
messages.
eggs.
You put little messages that are like kind of threatening and kind of passive aggressive.
What?
If you don't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta throw some prophylactics in the basket.
No, not at all. Not at all. Nope. What I'm gonna try and be nice to the kid, but I don't, But
to be a fly on the wall.
As a dad, though, you kind of also have to be like, hey, I'll cut your dick off if you do something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, to a degree, you have to have your daughter's back.
So Jana told me a story that her very first date that she went on, the guy came over. I don't know if it's Chris, the guy Chris.
Oh, I know Chris. I know Chris.
Yeah, I think it was him. And he came over to pick her up, and her dad was sitting on the fireplace stoop, polishing his shotgun.
Really?
And he came over. Yeah. Yeah, good times, man.
That's
good
pretty
times.
funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Because I know he did that more of a joke than anything. But there's that bit in. Oh, come on. Really?
As a dad of two girls, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I'm right there with Mr.
Wendling.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk Righteous Gemstones just for a little bit? We had a good conversation starting before we started to record.
Righteous Gemstones.
So when it first came out, I thought I had watched the whole first season, but apparently I didn't. I think I just watched the first couple, and then I got interrupted, and I just never went back. But man, I love it, and I think I watched all of season one when you told me,
you're pounding through it then. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and
I'm only 4 eps in.
I'm like 3 or 4 into season 2 now.
Holy cow. Okay.
I've not watched season 2. I felt, first of all, I was like, this is a rough show, but both my wife and I enjoyed it. And I felt like that first season, it was perfect. It ended perfect. I felt like
every
it answered all the questions.
Season has a beginning and an end.
Oh, does
it? They close off everyone kind of like Fargo does. Yeah.
It was so good. I loved it. The characters, the casting is incredible. It's so good.
Yeah, there's season 2. I was kind of shocked. I was expecting some carryover. There's no carryover from the story between season 1 and season 2.
Wow.
Yeah. So but I mean it is great. I did not watch Eastbound and Down.
Oh, really? Oh,
I
watched Eastbound and Down.
Is Danny McBride the same character in that show essentially? Same.
That's kind of Danny McBride's shtick, is to be the toxic masculine guy. Mm-hmm. To the he plays that part so well and understand. He does it almost better than anybody. To be super ultra the toxic alpha male that's almost a joke. Mm-hmm. Or is a joke, except the first thing he ever did, which is the Foot Fist Way. Have you guys seen that?
I've seen the scene.
Yeah. So, but the scene kind of so in the Foot Fist Way, he plays a very similar character, and everybody thinks he's this joke of a martial artist, and this guy, who is this guy? He sucks, and it just but he would teach all these things, and it has this good heart core in it, and then the scene that you're talking about is where he actually shows that no, he is really something special. That's the only one that he kind of does that in. Everything else, he's just kind of a shitbird. So.
Yeah, but he's funny as hell, though.
Yeah.
In Righteous Gemstones, I don't know, Justin, if you've gotten to this part, but there's a part where he prays and the doorbell rings and he's like, somebody get the fucking door. I'm playing up here.
That was the last episode.
I fell off the couch laughing.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was the last episode. I just watched that. Yeah. Other one on HBO is Last of Us season 2 just started. So I'm gonna be watching that one as well.
I never played the game.
Don't need to.
I don't know.
You don't need to.
I know.
I haven't watched any of it yet. So.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's like if again, like my description is if Walking Dead was good.
Right. And Walking Dead was super intense. Like, I don't know if I could watch it. I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is like Walking Dead with heart and soul, and it's good. Walking Dead has its moments that are really good. There are parts in The Walking Dead I really like, but the problem is it was so uneven, and I have a lot of issues with it overall.
Yeah, when that zombie ate his whole wife, and I'm like,
I don't mind that. That's fine. I'm good with that stuff.
Wife. That's not realistic.
So can we officially say that Max is one of the top 2 streaming platforms out there? Because HBO was and then fell, and when they first merged with when Max and HBO merged, it was kind of like not sure because they were dropping stuff left and right, but they're killing it, man. With their
HBO has always been like number 1 as far as like quality content goes.
Yeah.
Like as a whole, I mean, when has it really dropped? I mean, some of the shows may not have ended. Like, I mean, Game of Thrones didn't end how I wanted it to, but those first few seasons are still amazing. Just like historically, all their like HBO Sunday Night HBO is great for the most part. It usually is.
I feel like other than Game of Thrones, they had a stretch of like 8 years where really wasn't great. Like Netflix was killing it
before or after Game of Thrones.
During Game of Thrones, it was like I would cancel until the next season came out. There was nothing.
I've always had like Curb Your Enthusiasm or Watchmen, or man, there's been a lot of good shows on there.
They've put out a lot of shows.
There's like
Barry?
7, 8. There's like 7 or 8 that are like top tier shows. Like Barry is not a top tier. It's not a top 10 show.
Hard disagree. I think it's a top tier.
I would probably say by ratings wise and who's watching it, probably not. Like maybe it's a hidden gem, and I think I saw 1 or 2 episodes of it. That's
The Righteous Gemstone's been around for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
But there was a gap.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
they had.
What
was the one with the Silicon Valley? I mean, I don't know.
Valley,
They've had a lot of great stuff in the last decade. I think it's been incredible.
But here's my question: why drop HBO from the name? Because HBO, I felt like had cachet.
Because the people who own it like made some really bad decisions, and they've cut some really good shows and done a lot of harm to where like there's a lot of things that they've cut that you cannot get anywhere. Like you can't buy like digital copies of it. You can't get a physical copy of it. It's just gone. And so these artists have created things that there's just no way for them to get their stuff out there. And
it's in the vault. It's in the vault. That's hiding. But that's part of what I'm talking about, right? HBO was.
Yeah.
Then the merger came and it went, and just stuff went all over the place. Things from HBO started showing up elsewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just saying that I don't know if that necessarily means that the quality of the things that they did produce was subpar. I've thought the quality has been still towards the top of any other streaming service. I mean, I don't know. What has Netflix put out that's really like anything near like Silicon Valley even, or Barry?
Yeah.
Like I can't really think of much. There's every once in a while, maybe Stranger Things.
I think. I'm not putting them up Netflix up there right now. I think Netflix.
Like I think maybe Apple.
Right
Apple's up there.
That's
Yeah.
what
I think
Apple or them.
for content, I think Apple's
And there's a
probably
few
top.
good, and then I would say Amazon is probably pulling in third then.
A far third, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a drop off. It's a drop off.
Yeah. I would probably say Netflix is a little above.
I think the problem you have is
Oh, above Prime?
Yeah.
Nah, I like Prime a little better.
it's too much content. There's too much to watch. There's too much bad crap to sift through. Like, I shouldn't have had to watch that G20 movie. That movie
Well,
sucked.
that was your choice. That was your choice.
Hey, Dad, my friend's like, let's watch it. And I'm like, okay.
Hey, G20 is like a 53 across the board on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I know. He told me that after the movie was over. I'm like, well, then why the hell did we watch it?
Well, hey, Justin, I think, took the big bullet when he watched that other one, the robot movie.
Yeah.
That's at like a 15 and a 15.
I did take a bullet on that. I forgot what it was called. Did we talk? We talked about that on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Very
I've already
brief
like
recall.
had that part of my brain lobotomized. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
It's down there with the Emoji Movie.
Which I still have not seen either.
You're blessed.
Never will.
Hold on. But
Yeah.
I saw the Electric Company movie or whatever the hell that thing was called. Electric
Yeah,
State.
that's it. That's
Electric
it. That's what I'm
State.
talking about. Electric State. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
I know. I just remembered the name. It pisses me off now. I had it removed. Now it came back in my head. Ugh.
All right, so we got to wrap it up because I got to go do taxes.
I gotta work in 7 hours.
All right, I'm giving you a bingo card for Righteous Gemstones. Let me know when you finally get to the episode that does not feature male genitalia.
Is the joke you won't have one?
No, but they go metaphoric.
Okay, that's very funny. That's very funny.
Yep.
I like it. Okay,
Yeah.
well, if I don't like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, we know what you do. We know what you mean.
Oh yeah! All right, everybody. I'm gonna try to put a like and subscribe button here as I point to it and see if I can do it. And we'll see you in some time. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, everybody. See you later.
Peace out.